Those are the words of Dr. Vivian Timothy. I would like to begin today's show with that because I know that if we understand our past, it's easy for us to fit into the future and, of course, relax with our present. Now, Dr. Vivian is seated right here with me. She is my guest. It's an exceptional package, as you get to find out as we move on. But for now, let's take a break.
I don't think in gender boxes at all. I just get on with it.
A man that would dare to ask the wife, who do you think you are? That is a real man.
Yes. We need to have more women, more multitaskers around Nigeria to get Nigeria working.
Definitely. If you just joined us, the show is The Woman, and I am Elizabeth Abai. The guests already mentioned earlier on is Dr. Vivian Timothy. Nice to have you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I know I should be saying thank you to a lot of people, but most especially the diasporan community for bringing you to Nigeria.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it's a great honor. Joy. I know you're the PRO of NIDO, Germany.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and it's umbrellaed by Europe.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now, your program this period was well attended, and I'm glad for it.
Yeah.
But I also know that you're having an exhibition here in Nigeria for the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I'm having.
Yeah, well, the preparation is going on in my hometown, my village, where my story began. So it's somehow emotional. It's somehow a special one.
Okay. Talking about how your story began, I'm kind of curious. You have won several awards with your paintings. You've done Nigeria proud with your paintings, not just in Germany where you reside, but outside of that, UK, US, and all that. Try to follow up on that. I'd like to know, how did this come up?
I had always known that I am artistically talented, right from the time I was young. But I was not allowed to, because for my parents, it's not a proper profession for a woman. So I really...
You're not allowed?
Yes, because then I think my parents, they meant well too, but they didn't know that we all have this unique talent that was given to us at the point of our incarnation, or God gave us. And I believe strongly they don't also know that in this talent, most of the time lies our power to become success and to control our future. And they kind of missed it. They meant well, so I'm not really annoyed with them. So now I kind of got confused for decades before I later found myself.
Well, maybe sometimes some of those things are structured in that manner, so you get to find out who you really are when you're really, really prepared for it.
Exactly.
Sometimes you take off at that point and you feel like you're starting late, but it's not actually late. That's when destiny wants you to do it.
No, I call myself a light that took decades to shine.
Yeah. All right, a light that took decades to shine. Yeah. That's another creative expression.
Thank you.
All right, I'm kind of curious. There's several of them in the studio.
Yes.
I'll get to talk about your personality, but speak to me. Your artwork is centered a whole lot on the beauty of a woman and Africa and Nigeria as a whole. Any particular reason for that?
I think the women here, where we come from, this part of the world, we've been kind of marginalized. We are not given the power to become economically empowered. We are struggling still through our outdated tradition, outdated culture, and so I think living in Germany now for like 30 years, I saw that it could be different. Something is wrong here. So my painting is about, I am a womanist. I love everything that I have.
I'm hearing
not
that
a
for
feminist.
The first time.
So
what's the difference between womanist and feminist?
Feminist is more in the negative. They're like the fighting with men. Like hey, we are stronger than you. What you guys can do, we can do better. Which is true, though. But then, as a womanist, I love that I am a woman. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter. Everything that has to do with it makes me happy.
I like the way you say it. So much feel with pride.
Thank you.
I'm a womanist, yes.
Yeah, I am. Okay. And because of that, of course, naturally, it comes, the problem that we, the female or the women face in Africa, touches me. And I think as an artist, this is the only way to let out what is not okay in the society.
Okay, now this particular one, I don't know. It's I see a woman crying.
Yes.
What's the inspiration behind it?
Well, the inspiration actually behind it, maybe you can also see the map of Africa there.
Okay.
The half of this map of Africa. So actually I call her Mama Africa. Mama Africa portrays the classical African woman. It also portrays the Mama Africa that has sold herself, that has made herself economically, commercially attractive to the lost. Exactly. So I call it.
Okay, take for example, if people complain that their works is being pirated, or uncensored work, unclassified work is in the market, and they are making money from it. So who buys that? That shows that there is a market.
Okay, that takes me to the next issue. Now, as strong as the media is, content is available and anybody who does not understand it can jump at any content.
All right.
What attitude should Nigerians put up in terms of registering content? Because if I see somebody who sells DVDs, name it, in a tray or in a wheelbarrow, all I jumped at was the latest film, and I just buy. So what attitude should they put up? And you have talked about the rural areas here. They are vulnerable. Yeah. People who escape you in the urban centers who find themselves in the rural fringes of Nigeria. And this content you're trying to regulate find themselves to these places. Some of the ones we may have ceased, I can tell you people are watching them as we speak.
Okay. You see, it is not over until it is over. Part of the things we do is to put in place what we call media literacy program. Media literacy program is to make ambassadors of the younger ones. Because most of the things, why we regulate, why we look into the content, is to protect, one, the growth of the children, the moral and cultural standard, and of course to educate them. So that's why we look into the content. So we've gone back to them. We've re-established what we call media literacy programs. We've gone into universities. We have collaborations with universities where we go and talk and show them the kind of films and the rating, the classifications, what they look for.
Is it regular?
Yes, of course, regular. We've lined up to be in Oye soon. And several other universities, Okada, we've been to Okada. Just mention it in all the 6 zonal structures. Now secondary school, on a weekly basis, all over the country, we go into a minimum of 10-20 secondary schools, because that's the only way we can always curb this. And people are responding to it. We're making ambassadors of the young one, not only in terms of even content, in terms of speeches and things like that. We falls under media literacy programs that we do. That, okay, you have this phone, what do you use it for? This is what you should look out for. In a film, by the time we're doing that, we start seeing the result of even secondary school child telling the mother that, no, mommy, you shouldn't buy this. This is affecting the society. DVD, 10 in 1, 20 in 1, foreign films. You understand what we're saying? So the only other options that we have and that we are exploring is the media. For media allowing us to tell parents that there are certain fundamental teachings that comes from home, not from government. We mold the child from home to the village, then community. Is an expansion like that before government intervention. The couple of things, take for example, if you were on cyberspace and you have decided to link up with internet on your TV, there is a parental guard that you should be able to put on that thing. Government is not going to come into your house and say, don't buy something on internet. No, but those are your rules from home. So from this point, you are assisting not only yourself, you are assisting the entire society, the entire fabrics of the society. So those are kind of things that we plead with parents at home to always watch for. When a child is supposed to be on bed, those days I know when we're supposed to be, apart from reading newspapers. You see, parents on the street buy videos and take it home instead of buying newspaper.
Alhaji Adedayo Thomas, Executive Secretary, National Film and Video Censors Board. It was nice having you on Insight.
Thank you.
And we have tried to expound on copyright and uncensored works in Nigeria. Well, you're doing your 2 years, right? We hope by the time you're inching into the 3rd year, we'll bring you to give us an update on where you are.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Up next on Insight is the media review segment. Don't go away.
The International Conference on African Development, TICAD 7, has come and gone, and so much sidelines have been proposed. Now the question is, who will relate the sidelines to the ordinary man on the street? Of course, the media. How will the media ensure that these sidelines are actualized? My guest, Gabriel Odu, from the Media Unit, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, will provide answers. It's nice to have you in our studio.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
All right, let's talk about the outing. Fine, so many people have said it's a positive one, a worthwhile undertaking, interesting. But the issue is, are these sidelines visible?
The sidelines will not be visible immediately.
Okay.
But later on, if, and I said if, the deliverables, the takeaways are really taken home by those that participated, especially the Nigerian government. From the federal government, we have dignitaries, the state level, we have governors and other captains of industries attended the TICAD. What we should be looking at is how do we take the sidelines, the benefits back home, and provide implementable strategies for the ordinary citizens to benefit. Well, let me tell you, Japan is home of technology and innovation.
Of course.
Right. And they are home to companies like Toyota, Suzuki. Maybe as at that time you were not born, those plants were in Nigeria. Why did they leave? They left because of what? Power. And let me say this. I have a professor called Michael Omeadi, a professor of business and management. He used to tell me that Nigeria's infrastructural development cannot witness a turnaround unless we invest on what is called power. He repeated power and power. So, the TICAD 7 deliverables will be visible if the media relentlessly, consistently focus their attention on beaming satellites on power to ensure that these companies, when they come to Nigeria, they will have an enabling environment to operate.
Okay. Now, let me take you back to the issue of investment.
Right.
Now, it's an open window for investors to come in to invest, not only in Nigeria, Africa. Now, we'll be having investors from all over the world. What does this portend for us as a nation?
Yes. And luckily and interestingly, too, the president had a town hall conversation with Nigerians in diaspora.
Yes.
And incidentally, too, the chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, was also there. He met with the best brains from Nigeria. As I was watching, I saw one professor I know of, C.C. Jogu, is a scientist. And he had promised the president that they will bring investors. They will accompany these investors to invest not only in oil and gas, in agriculture and other sectors, especially in innovation, which is the focal point of this year's TICAD. So, what are we looking for? We are looking for FDI, foreign direct investment. So, what we do, government has already created the ease of doing business, economic recovery and growth plan. These are all strategies put in place to attract investors. So the media, what the media, in my perspective, don't always do is follow up mechanisms. After 3 months, let's remind government. I hope you are not forgetting the TICAD 7. How far have we gone after 3 months? Those are the focal points the media should be looking at, so that the man on the street will now understand. When you talk about TICAD, what is it about? What is it about? As soon as you mention TICAD, even if you have not gone to school, you will know. It is about it is about fast-tracking Africa's development through innovation and technology.
Okay, now let's talk about technology. The issue of Toyota plants coming to Nigeria.
Right.
Are we going to be assembling? Are we going to be manufacturing? And what does this portend for our young inventors coming up with electric cars?
You see, the issue here where I always say, let me give you this scenario. I have consistently maintained that there is what is called Western media imperialism.
Okay.
At TICAD, we never saw the BBCs, the Al Jazeera's, the CNN, the Fox News, the ABCs talking about Africa's development, Africa's participation. That conference is about Africa.
Yes.
But they were busy talking about their presidents, the likes of Trump and others. But they never focus on Africa. So, what are we saying? Development squarely lies on us. So Nigeria should focus on its diaspora scientists to drive the process. They have been there, they have seen it all. Encourage them, let them bring the investors, but then demand it. Calm down. If there are assembly plants, are we including local content? If Toyota is coming to build assembly plants, is it strictly foreign based? It has to have local content, so that a man on the street can get employment, can become a welder, can become a mechanic. In the process, create jobs. These are areas, silent areas, sidelines areas the media should focus on and keep reminding government, do not forget these deliverables. Don't make TICAD 7.
The network service of the NTA. We now join our outside broadcast crew for a live telecast.
May I appeal to gentlemen of the media to please step down and allow us to start the program in earnest. Do Allah duk wanda bai da wani takamaiman abin yi akan wannan dandamali, do Allah a sauka ƙasa. Gentlemen of the media, we are starting the program, so please take your positions appropriately and allow us to continue with the program as scheduled. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi wahada. Wassalatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'da. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, San, GCON. Sir, you are most warmly welcome to Kano. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State.
We are from the Coronation Hall of the Government House, Kano. This morning, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, is presiding over the opening of a two-day stakeholder summit on free and compulsory basic and secondary education in Kano State. It is one of the key policy statements of the Governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, in his inaugural speech on the 29th of May this year. This event will involve stakeholders from various sectors that are to do with education. That is how to effectively implement the free and compulsory education program. I am Abdullahi Mustafa, welcoming you to the program.
Of France, the Ambassador of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Ambassador of the United Arab Emirates, His Excellency the Ambassador of Egypt and that of Sudan. Sirs, you are most welcome to Kano. Your Royal Highnesses, the custodians of our culture and religion, the Emir of Karai, Alhaji Ibrahim Abubakar, the Emir of Bichi, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, the Emir of Rano, Alhaji Tafida Abubakar Ila, and the Emir of Gaya, Alhaji Ibrahim Abdul Qadir. Our chairman, the state chairman of our party, the APC, Alhaji Abdullahi Abbas, the secretary to the government of Kano State, Alhaji Usman Alhaji, the head of civil service, Dr. Kabir Shehu, the chief of staff to the governor, distinguished elder statesmen, representatives of several development partners here present, heads of agencies and parastatals, local government chairmen, let me also warmly acknowledge the presence this morning of several vice chancellors of universities, heads of tertiary institutions, our spiritual leaders, the ulama, members of the civil society, labor leaders, business leaders, community leaders, our partners in Progress the Media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning and assalamu alaikum. May I crave the kind indulgence of Your Excellency the Vice President to invite Sheikh Ahmad Suleiman Ibrahim to lead us in the opening prayer of this event. Akramakallah.
بصلاتي على النبي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. الله كاو من دكان الخير ككاري من دكان شر كسامو جماد الدنيا لافيا. Ya Allah ka yi wa mai girma gwamnan Kano jagora zuwa ga abin da kake so kake yarda da shi, ka tsare shi ka kare shi daga abin da baka so baka yarda da shi, ka kara masa lafiya da zaman lafiya. We pray for His Excellency the Vice President to have journey masses after the program back to his family. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإذ قال ربك للملائكة إني جاعل في الأرض خليفة قالوا أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء ونحن نسبح بحمدك ونقدس لك قال إني أعلم ما لا تعلمون وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين قالوا سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم قال يا آدم أنبئهم بأسمائهم فلما أنبأهم بأسمائهم قال ألم أقل لكم إني أعلم غيب السماوات والأرض وأعلم ما تبدون وما كنتم تكتمون ربنا اغفر لنا ولوالدينا وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Alhamdulillah. Your Excellency, the Vice President, all other protocol observed duly. It is well known that education is the key to development and progress throughout human history. It is an agent both of cultural preservation and transformation. Education, basic education in particular, is generally perceived to yield social dividends in excess of private dividends, as it tends to be associated with strong positive externalities. Without doubt, the benefits from education are largely reflected in the productive capacity of the individual, be it student or pupil. Yet, basic education affords the larger society important benefits by facilitating social cohesion and nation building. In this light, the administration of Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje of Kano State decided to provide free and compulsory basic education up to senior secondary school level with a view, ladies and gentlemen, to uplifting the quality of life of the citizenry and enhancing socio-economic development of the state. This initiative focuses on actualizing several goals, including education for all, girl-child education, enrollment of out-of-school children, Almajiri or Sangaya education, as well as human development. Consequently, the government considered it imperative to convene this two-day stakeholder conference or summit with the theme Exploring the Fundamentals of Free and Compulsory Education in Kano towards generating deep and wide-ranging guidance for successful implementation of the policy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to have you here this morning for the summit. And it is on this note that I will invite the State Head of Civil Service, Dr. Kabir Shehu. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been informed that the State Head of Civil Service is on his way to this summit. Therefore, without much ado, it is my honor to invite the Secretary to the Government of Kano State, Alhaji Usman Alhaji, to give the formal welcome remarks. Let us put our hands together for the Secretary to the Government of Kano State, Alhaji Usman Alhaji.
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, the Governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Kano State. Allow me to start my welcome address by a quotation from Nelson Mandela, who once said, "It always seems impossible until it is done." The history of Kano State, from the time it was Kano and Jigawa to this date, the declaration of free education and compulsory has been and remained impossible until today, under the able leadership of His Excellency Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje. This indeed is a ray of hope for the people of Kano State. And today we see the light at the end of the tunnel. Your Excellency, our children and grandchildren and generations yet unborn will definitely from this day be free from the bondage of ignorance and hopelessness. Your Excellency, I welcome each and every person that is in this hall and that are here to put hands together and assist His Excellency the Governor to take Kano State to the top of the mountain. We have here with us, Your Excellency, sons and daughters, important sons and daughters of Kano State, friends, supporters, and well-wishers of Kano State government here with us. I want to seize this opportunity on behalf of His Excellency the Governor to welcome each and every one of you. And I want to say, due to time factor, you are sincerely from the depth of our heart, you are welcome. Your Excellency, today, our Governor, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, has definitely joined the ranks of leaders in the world, the likes of our father, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, who has declared free education, and since then he has become a father of modern Southwest. Other leaders of the world who have used education to take their communities and countries out of darkness to light, and who have moved their nations from third world to first world. Today, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje has no doubt joined the rank of such leaders. And we welcome this move, which will make our children to see the development of this courageous decision that is taken today. Our distinguished senators, honorable ministers, diplomatic corps, our party leaders, our royal fathers, our traditional rulers, business community, teachers, students, everybody, too many to mention. I say you are most welcome. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much, the Secretary to the Government of Kano State. We are now moving quickly to the next item of the agenda, which is the presentation of goodwill messages. Immediately after the goodwill messages, there will be a book presentation, which will be followed by the lead paper presentation for the first segment of this program. Thank you very much. On this note, it is my honor to most respectfully invite the Honorable Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, to kickstart the goodwill messages component of this occasion. Sir, we congratulate you on your reappointment as Minister of Education and hope and pray that your second tenure will be as eventful as the first one. Allah Yatayakaru.
Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshimbajo, son, Pastor of God in the Redeemed Church of Christ, Your Excellency, the Governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, the Deputy Governor of Kano State, Dr. Yusuf Gadwa, members of the Federal Executive Council here present, Royal Fathers, and with your permission, I would like to stand on the protocol established. I'm very happy, Your Excellency, to be part of this very important occasion. First, I'm happy because by holding this summit, the Kano State government has demonstrated that it is a pace-setter in Nigeria's education. It is not the first. I still recall there was a time, I don't know whether Professor Ibrahim Ayagi is here, but during his time, there was something that put Kano on the map. Education got a boost, and Dr. Umar Ganduje is repeating it. I know there was a time Kano was leading the nation in science and the arts. So today we are just seeing a repeat. And I know there were efforts during the time of Malam Ibrahim Shekarau, who later on went on to become the Minister of Education. And also I have to say, even if it is not going to be popular, that during the time of Konkoso, he did a lot for primary school education. And I think I will not be able to praise this administration without acknowledging that. The theme of this summit, exploring the fundamentals of free and compulsory education in Kano State, is apt and it signifies that Kano State is contributing its quota toward the attainment of the next agenda of Mr. President. I therefore most sincerely commend Your Excellency, Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, and the government and the people of Kano for this feat. And here also I'd like to repeat something that I've been telling my associates from Kano. Kano has a central position in the north. Kano is a center of commerce. Kano has been a center of Islamic education. For this and many other reasons, whatever happens in Kano spreads all over the north. But the people in Kano don't seem to have realized this. I will tell you, Kanawa, you are very insular. When you founded your foundation, Kano Foundation, I told some people here that instead of a Kano Foundation, it should have been a Northern Foundation. Because I believe whatever happens in Kano here will be copied by the rest. That is why today I hope what Dr. Ganduje is doing will be copied by the rest of the North. We certainly need compulsory education. One of the primary functions of education is to prepare individuals for societal change, national growth, and economic development. As a gateway to every kind of development, it is education that facilitates improvement in the living standards of citizens. It improves the vision and perspective of individuals. It enhances knowledge-based decisions and facilitates good governance. Indeed, we can say education is a necessary condition for all-round development, and no nation can achieve any kind of progress without significant investment in education. And we must also always bear in mind that even the security and stability of the nation depends on the type of investment we make, the quality and the quantity and the level of investment we make in education. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this decision by the Governor of Kano to provide free and compulsory education up to senior secondary level is very, very commendable. And I hope it will be emulated by all states in the north, because the problem of education is more endemic in the north. I know Al-Majri have been integrated. I know something is being done concerning out-of-school children. And before Governor Ganduje told me about this summit, I had talked to about 4 other governors. And I think their plan is similar to yours, sir. I hope by the time they lay out their own, other governors will have nothing to do but to copy. In its course to move the nation forward towards effective participation in the knowledge economy that is sweeping the world, the Federal Ministry of Education has identified some gaps in access, in quality, and in system strengthening in the education sector. In our attempt to address these gaps, the ministry and stakeholders got together and produced a strategic plan. This strategic plan is anchored on 10 pillars as follows. Number 1 is out-of-school children, which is part of what we are here for. We intend to reduce, and if God wills, by the end of this term, to eliminate out-of-school children phenomenon. There is something personal in this. Anytime I go out of this country to a conference of education ministers from the world, I'm always pointed out as the minister from the country with the highest number of out-of-school children. And that is why it is necessary for us to try and reduce it. The second one, which is related to it, is that of mass literacy. We intend to disseminate it throughout the country. Number 3 is technical vocational education and training, so that we'll be preparing our students for the workplace instead of just giving them intellectual expansion without anything to do after our school. Number 4 is basic and secondary education, which we must build in order to provide a strong foundation for what will follow later as tertiary education. Then there is ICT, and then there is education data and planning. While we were coming, I was telling the Vice President that within the last 4 years, the Ministry of Education has generated more reliable, accurate data than the entire history before the First Republic. And we are going to make this available to all people. It is envisaged that if all stakeholders buy into the pillars of our strategic plan, in accordance with outlined strategies and objectives, Nigeria's education will not only address our yearnings, but will make the nation competitive. I would like to urge the Kano State government and all participants to utilize this opportunity and take education truly forward. The Federal Ministry of Education will be with you at every step. I promise Dr. Gamduje that whatever it is the state is doing in education will have the support of the Federal Ministry of Education. It is my hope that in addition to this compulsory education, you will pay attention to the issues of our school children, the issue of effectively integrating Western and Islamic systems of education, and the issue of sustainable production of wholesome ulama. I hope you will be able to do this. While you are integrating Sangaya, there must be a way in which this society will continue to produce ulama. Finally, I would like to remind participants that education for all is our responsibility. Let us therefore take this summit very seriously. I hope after the opening you will have a very fruitful discussion, and I wish you Allah's guidance. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Minister, sir. Indeed, as the Honorable Minister mentioned, Kano is a pace-setter in education. I want to recall that several years ago, it was Kano State government that introduced the Primary Education Board, which later became NPEC at the federal level before it became UBEC. We appreciate the elders of Kano for this laudable initiative. Next on the goodwill list of goodwill message speakers is the British High Commissioner to Nigeria. Her Majesty's government has been supportive of the federal government and the government of Kano State in several sectors of human development, particularly the sector of education.
Thank you. His Excellency the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency the Executive Governor of Kano State, the Department for International Development, DFID, brings to you the goodwill of Her Majesty's government at this historic Kano Summit on Education. I am absolutely delighted to be at this important meeting that is initiating His Excellency Governor Ganduji's policy, free and compulsory basic and secondary education for all children in Kano State. Kano State is a very important partner to DFID. We aim to work closely with the government in Kano, as well as through funding various programs through non-government actors to address issues of human development, economic growth, and reform of the business environment. In Kano, in the financial year 2018 to 19, DFID spent over £20 million funding important initiatives, and going forward, we plan to continue our support. One sector that is of particular importance is education. Kano's educators and the education sector truly matter to the UK. We applaud Kano for the good work it has already done to improve access to education, and we recognise the high potential in this vibrant state. However, we know that many children here are not in school, and many of those that are not learning the basics. We are committed to working with Kano and Nigeria to tackle this learning crisis at its root by ensuring that children, especially girls, learn the basics of literacy and numeracy. Business as usual will not achieve the transformative change that is needed. We must continue to work together, led by the federal and state governments, to drive a new approach to the education sector. Today, I restate DFID's firm commitment to support the Kano state government to enable all children in Kano and in Nigeria to attend school and learn well. We applaud this new reform, and providing free and quality education to all children in Kano will go a long way in uplifting the quality of life for children and their families, and also contribute to sustainable socio-economic development in the state. We are already demonstrating our commitment to the education sector in Kano through our funding of several education initiatives in the state. The Fatila program implemented by Discovery Learning Alliance, Engine 2 by Mercy Corps, the Girls Education Project implemented by UNICEF, as well as recently completed programs such as the Teacher Development Program implemented by Mott MacDonald. In addition, we are currently going through a procurement process for our new flagship education program, Partnership for Learning for All in Nigeria, called PLANE. PLANE draws on the last 10 years of our work in the basic education sector and will work with the government to catalyse a new step change to improve the quality of teaching and learning to ensure children learn basic foundational skills across the education system. As part of this, we will fund evidence-based interventions to improve teaching and learning in Kano in particular. And I am very pleased to say that very soon we will be launching a £1.8 million accelerated learning programme aimed at building foundational literacy and numeracy skills for over 50,000 children in primary 4 to primary 6, using the teaching at the right level or TAL approach. We are committed to the education sector, but as I said earlier, we need to be working in partnership to truly lift learning outcomes. Going forward, DFID will engage with governments based on demonstrated political will. Today, the Kano state government is clearly showing its will to drive improvements in the education system. DFID is pleased to work in partnership with the state on this important endeavour, supporting it to develop a clear roadmap for the proper take-up of free and compulsory basic and secondary education. In the coming weeks and months, myself, DFID colleagues and partners will be engaging with the state on PLANE, accelerated learning, Fatila, Engine and other projects that we hope will be important components of the successful implementation of the state's policy on free and compulsory education. For today, I am looking forward to working with you all to start this new and exciting reform, and hope that we can have fruitful deliberations on how to enrol and retain all children in schools and to improve children's learning outcomes at scale. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next is the U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria. The U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria has been represented, and we want to use this opportunity to also commend his government for executing several projects in Nigeria through the USAID.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. All protocols observed. I'd like to take a second and thank the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as well as, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, as well as the Governor of the great state of Kano, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, for inviting the U.S. Embassy here today to participate in the launch of the Kano Education Summit, promoting free and compulsory education in Kano. So please give the leadership a hand real quickly. Thank you. I'm also extremely honored today to represent the U.S. Ambassador and the U.S. Charge d'Affaires here today. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here today, but they do send their warm welcome and warm greetings and well wishes to you all. The theme today of the fundamentals of free and compulsory education is something that is very, very important and something that indeed is a value of the American people. It is one that we believe in wholeheartedly. And as many of you guys know, in the US, basic education has always been free and compulsory. And it's something that we believe that is the fundamental driver to our success. We also believe in that the fundamentals of education is in the family. So it's really up to the mothers and the fathers to take hold of this initiative. Government initiatives are always a blessing and great to see. So we commend the leadership here today. But it's up to the families, the fathers, and the mothers to make sure that this yields fruit. In the 21st century, education for any child, that's both male and female, is the proper tool, is the only tool that will allow them to prosper. I myself, I have roots here in West Africa. I'll tell you what I told the governor the other day, and forgive me if I butcher it, but mahaifiata bahaushiache mutumi aganache. Gaskiane, right? Bana jin Hausa sosai, amma what I know here today is that Nigeria da America duka daya ne. So we're here essentially to support as development partners where we can. The U.S. is committed to helping advancing reading and basic education in Nigeria where we can. We currently support the Nigerian Center for Reading, Research, and Development at Bayero University. As you all launch this important initiative, be assured that the goodwill and best wishes of the American people are with you. We encourage you to partner with the Nigerian Center for Reading, Research, and Development, and we look forward to learning more about the successes to come in the months and years. Thank you so much. Mungode.
Thank you very much, Muma Mungudi. Next is the French ambassador to Nigeria. The French government has in recent times been awarding scholarships to indigents of Kano State to study for several postgraduate programs. We appreciate your government.
Thank you. Bonjour. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Honorable Ministers, Your Excellency, the Governor of Kano, Your Majesties, distinguished professors, all protocol being observed. I am delighted to be here today representing the Ambassador of France as the state of Kano makes ready to further upgrade the quality of its education. Free compulsory education is very dear to France. It made today's French Republic what it is and underpins one of our core values, equality. Free and compulsory education also helps bind people and communities together. It helps create a nation of citizens. And this is more important than ever indeed in this day and time. Finally, free and compulsory education for all is what brought freedom to very different nations and people throughout the world. Freedom to think, freedom to act, freedom to prosper. And as you know, all successful countries and economies have invested very heavily in education. Here in Nigeria, it is a national priority, and it is now at the state level that things are being done, that things are now happening. And today it is happening in Kano. The program of the next 2 days is ambitious and will hopefully be very productive.
The UAE has shown its desire to invest in various sectors in Nigeria. We have already established a university in Kano, which is Skyline University, Kano. And we hope that in the very near future we can invest and partner with Kano State and other states also in Nigeria in implementing state-of-art technology, which will play a significant role in making it easier for students to get the content and apply it in practice. Your Excellencies, I'd like to quote His Highness Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, our late founding father of the United Arab Emirates, where he said, "The greatest use that can be made of wealth is to invest in creating generations of educated and trained people." And I'm proud to say that the UAE has made wide strides towards countering illiteracy, where our literacy rate is close to 100% as of today. While we want to also reach out to our friendly states, for example, Nigeria here, and the state of Kano and other states in Nigeria, to try to share our success stories and to try to find feasible projects that we can apply together in this journey. Your Excellencies, we are committed and we are looking forward to working together with the government of state of Kano and the federal government as well to bring education to the levels that is translating the next level agenda of the federal government of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari. Your Excellencies, I wish you successful deliberations over the next 2 days, and thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to be part of this success story. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Next is the Saudi Arabian Ambassador to Nigeria, His Excellency Sheikh Adnan Mahmoud Bostaji. Let us please appreciate His Excellency as he comes over to the podium.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Your Excellency, First President of Republic Nigeria Republic, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, the Government of Kano, Dr. Abdullah Ganduje, Your Highnesses, Your Excellencies, Minister, Member of Diplomatic Corps, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's my pleasure to attend this conference on the free and compulsory education program to the completion of the high school, which has been organized by His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State. No doubt, this conference is necessary and important because it will have a positive impact, not only on the good people of Kano State, but also in the all people of Nigeria. And it will be help in putting and in the negative behavior that's come from the youth the youth in the society because of the lack of education. It's also it's also my pleasure to commend the Kano State government in initiative of the remodeling of the traditional and majorist system in education. In this occasion, I have the pleasure to announce it that the government of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia offers 424 university scholarships to Nigerian students every year for different states of the Federation in the various academic fields. In conclusion, I wish this conference every success in its work and that it comes out with the expected result. I also congratulate the government of the Kano State for this great work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Before we continue with the goodwill messages, let me inform this august gathering that His Excellency, the Vice President, has several commitments here in Kano. Therefore, there is the need for us to fast-track the program. Therefore, I want to appeal to subsequent speakers to please manage their time or the time allotted to them to deliver their speeches or goodwill remarks. Masu girma manyan baki, do Allah dazu-dazun nan mun ji an fara hayaniya a cikin wannan ɗakin taro. Irin wannan ba abu ne da ya kamace mu ba, saboda muhimmancin wannan taro da kuma kasancewar mu mutane domin a kyale taron ya ci gaba kamar yadda aka tsara. May I quickly on this note invite another critical partner in the development of this country, particularly in the sector of education, that is the World Bank, to please come forward as represented to deliver the remark of goodwill. Let us appreciate the World Bank with a round of applause. Immediately after the representative of the World Bank, we shall call upon the representative of UNICEF to also extend his remark of goodwill.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, our Governor of Kano State, the Minister of Education here present, we wish to congratulate you for your reappointment. We are very, very pleased to see you here. On behalf of the World Bank, our country director is supposed to be here, but due to other commitment, we are here with my colleague Aisha to represent the World Bank. We are very, very pleased to be here to thank the Kano State for this invitation to the World Bank and other development partners. We congratulate Kano State for these exemplary milestones and more importantly, for dedicating itself to free and compulsory basic and secondary education in Kano State. We want to say that this is an event that we believe If it works and it can bring more children to school, they stay in school and they learn, it's going to be a game changer for Nigeria. Kano represents the most popular states in Nigeria, and of course in the north we have so many out-of-school children, and that is why the World Bank will continue to work with you. We have 4 projects in Nigeria, in Kano State. We have 2 that is ongoing. The one of Nigerian Partnership for Education that we are working with Kano State with other development partners, the DFID, the USAID, the UNICEF, and of course all the other international agencies in Nigeria to support child education in Kano. It's a $100 million project in which Kano with other states in the north, Katsina, Jigawa, Sokoto, and of course Kaduna, they are benefiting from this program. I'm very pleased to say we have been working very closely with Kano, and we are very pleased that Kano has accelerated the project by bringing more girls to school among them. We also have a new project now which we call BESDA, and we want to thank the Honorable Minister here present because he's the champion of out-of-school children in Nigeria as part of his milestone in terms of bringing more children to school. So we are having $620 million project for the 17 states in Nigeria, of which Kano is one of the states. And the project is to bring more children to school. And we are pleased to say Kano is going to be one of the biggest beneficiary because they are having the highest number of out-of-school children in Nigeria. The project is result-based financing. For every child you bring to school, the state will be rewarded. So if Kano can bring more children to school, they are going to have more resources on this. I want to end by saying we are having 2 additional projects we are going to start in Kano State. The first one, which we also have to thank the federal government of Nigeria, is what we call IDEAS, Innovative Development Effective for Acquisition of Skills. It's a skills project and technical and vocational project. The project is a federal government-driven project in which they want to support our youth in terms of skills. It's not enough to wait till time they finish school before you giving them skills. We are thinking of giving them skills when they are still in schools. So the federal government has chosen 6 states to benefit from this project, and the 6 states is including Kano. Kano is one of the 6 states. The other states are Gombe, Benue, Ekiti, and of course Abia and Edo. They are all benefiting, and we hope Kano State will continue to do what they know how to do to bring more of our youth to give them the right type of skills. And lastly, we are also preparing a new project on 10 million adolescent girls in Nigeria, and in which we want all children who are from 12 years of age to 20 years. We are having a project we are going to focus so that they will be able to finish secondary school. We want all our girls who are now in school. It's not enough for them to finish primary school or basic education, but it's also very important for them to finish secondary school. So we are going to work with Kano State to make sure all girls who are of secondary school age, to support them with supply and demand resources for them to complete secondary school. Thank you very much, and we wish you all the best, and we are looking forward to continue to see how you move this free and compulsory education forward in Kano State. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. May I now invite the representative of UNICEF. UNICEF is represented this afternoon by Dr. Euphrates Efosi Kose. Let us put our hands together for Dr. Kose.
Thank you. His Excellency the Vice President, Honorable Minister of Education, His Excellency the Executive Governor of Kano State, His Excellency the Deputy Governor, respectable Speaker of Houses of Assembly present here, our dear leaders, traditional leaders, the emirs, our respectable ambassadors all seated here, distinguished members of the diplomatic community, development partners, communities, parents, children all present, It's a great opportunity to be with you on behalf of the UNICEF representative, Peter Hawkins, who is not disposed at this time. I want to take the opportunity to congratulate His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, for making this laudable commitment to ensure that Kano children enjoy free and compulsory basic and secondary education, and for organizing the summit to rally all stakeholders around your agenda. UNICEF is guided by the United Nations Convention of the Rights of Children, and under its mission, it is there to promote the full attainment of rights of children, especially the most disadvantaged. So as part of UNICEF's larger mission, UNICEF supports and assists the government to ensure the survival and development of children, and importantly, to ensure that all children who are of age access education, remain in school, have basic foundational skills, and also skills for employability. So indeed, education is a right enshrined in Articles 28 and 29 of the United Nations Conventions of the Right of Children, and further in the Nigerian Constitution, and also, as we heard the Honorable Minister of Education said, in his strategic plan. We know that education is a driver for equity, for poverty reduction, for empowerment, for peaceful and inclusive societies, and economic growth, as other respectable speakers have said. So when realizing this right for education, it is painful to hear some of the numbers. I will not repeat what the minister already enumerated with regard to the numbers and how that implies in Kano. But to ensure that all children in the state have access to quality basic education for learning and for their full potential as human citizens, I think we've learned as UNICEF that this challenge, we need to look at solutions innovatively. We know some of the innovative solutions, and we need to look at some of the things that we've been doing which look simplistic but can be done in a different way. So it involves that we all join hands with the stakeholders at all levels to look at various aspects of education. Indeed, it is not just the government that is at the driver's seat that provides the leadership, the vision, as the respectable governor has done, but it is all stakeholders coming together. And importantly, it is about the parents, it is about the communities, it is about the children who have a critical role to play. So UNICEF is keen to support the positive outcomes of these discussions after the 2 days deliberation in this summit, and to be part of the implementation with the state governor. Indeed, Our Excellency, you will be happy to know that given the strategic importance of the state of Kano, UNICEF decided to open a field office here. We recently received our Chief of Field Office, Mr. Maulid Wafa, who was joined, and we have a team of more than 60 technical experts, sir, to really sit with you and be able to access all these resources we've heard from the World Bank, from our colleagues in DFID, and from the various governments, so that we have a sound plan. I would like to commend the efforts of the governor, and I would just like to end by saying that UNICEF reaffirms its commitment to support the government and to support the communities of Kano and Nigeria at large. Thank you very much. Which way should I go?
Thank you very much, Ma. Next is the representative of the DFID. Let us please appreciate the DFID with a round of applause. Okay. It looks as if the DFID representative will not be able to speak since the British High Commissioner has already spoken. May I now, therefore, invite the representative of the Nigerian Educational Research and Development Council, NERDC. The NEDRC, please. The representative of that agency is on his way to the podium, and we expect that when he comes over, he will speak for a maximum of 2 minutes because we need to be cognizant of the engagements of His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Kano State, the Honorable Minister of Education, permit me to stand on existing or established protocols. Well, I'm just giving a goodwill message. The Honorable Minister had spoken, and I believe he had spoken well. But then the Chief Executive of the Nigerian Education Research and Development Council, Professor Ismail Junaidu, directed me to just present a goodwill message, and that I will do. It is really interesting and gladdening that this is happening. Excellency, the Governor of Kano State, Alhaji Umar Abdullahi Ganduje. It is worthy of note that basic education is the foundation, and Kano has gone to the next level by moving to. I would want to assure His Excellency and the Federal Minister of Education and the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that NIC is ever willing to support the drive by the government, by international development partners to move to the next level in such a manner that the minute of out of school will be history in Nigeria. We are trying to put something in place, and we will support the government to deliver, and God willing, we will be there. We would have the positive outcomes to be a thing of history. There would be no out of school children in Kano State, God willing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, traditional leaders and rulers have a very critical role to play if the free education policy of the Kano State government is to succeed 100%. Accordingly, the traditional leaders and rulers in Kano have nominated the Emir of Bichi, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, to say a few words of goodwill on this occasion. Allah ya taimaki sarki, Allah ya kara wa sarki lafiya. Za a yi jawabi a takaice na minti 2 saboda mahanzarta mai girma mataimakin shugaban kasa ya tafi gudanar da raguwar ayyukan da aka sa zai gudanar a wannan rana. Allah ya kara wa sarki lafiya.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على النبي الكريم. mai girma mataimakin shugaban ƙasa na Najeriya, mai girma gwamnan jihar Kano, masu girma ministocinmu da ambassadors da consuls, sauran manyan mutane ababen girmamawa a wajena wanda lokaci ba zai bar na kira wasu ɗaya bayan ɗaya ba. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. A madadin dukkan sarakuna da shugabanni bangarori daban-daban na wannan jiha, muna gode wa Ubangiji da ya ba mu ikon halartar wannan taro a wannan safiya. bayan godewa Ubangiji muna godewa mataimakin shugaban ƙasa da dukkan ministoci da ambassadors da sauran manyan mutane da suka halarci wannan taro domin ganin wannan tsari na gwamnati ya yi nasara. Babu shakka kamar yadda minista yake faɗa, dukan abin da ya shafi Kano ya shafi al'ummar arewa da ma wasu ƙasashe makwabtanmu. Don haka ya zama wajibi irin waɗannan tarurruka idan sun zo a tabbatar an samu goyon baya na dukkan al'umma, musamman baƙi da muka gayyata domin su fahimci muhimmancin wannan jiha, su ga kuma hanyoyin da za su bi su taimaka mana domin taimakawa Kano, taimakawa kusan dukkan arewacin Najeriya ne da ma wasu ƙasashe makwabtanmu. Kuma idan aka lura magana da ake ta yara waɗanda ba sa makaranta da ake kirga yawansu a Kano, na tabbatar idan muka ƙididdiga za mu ga kusan rabinsu daga jihohi daban-daban suke da ƙasashe daban-daban wanda suka mai da Kano gida, mu kuma muka yi na'am da su. Don haka taimakawa wannan ƙuduri na gwamnati kusan taimakawa dukkan al'ummar wannan ƙasa ne. Don haka muna kira ga duk wanda aka gayyata, musamman ambassadors ɗin ƙasashe daban-daban da ƙungiyoyi daban-daban da bankin duniya da makamantansu, da su yi nazari su ga hanyoyin da za su shigo domin su taimakawa jiha a samu nasarar wannan ƙuduri da muke da shi. Ya zama wajibi mu gode wa gwamna domin ƙirƙiro da wannan ƙuduri. Babu shakka ƙuduri ne mai amfani, kuma ya zama wajibi duk wanda zai iya taimakawa ya taimaka domin cimma nasara a wannan tsari. Muna kira da dukkan al'umma, musamman mutanenmu na karkara, su aminta kuma su tabbatar sun karɓi wannan ƙuduri, domin samun ilimi ginshiki ne na rayuwarmu. Tunda gwamnati ta fito da ya zama kyauta, kuma wajibi mutane su sani cewa duk wanda bai kai ɗansa ko ‘yarsa makaranta ba, akwai doka da take a kansa kuma za a hukunta shi. Muna godewa dukkan waɗanda suka zo wannan waje, kuma muna godewa shugaban ƙasa wanda ya ɗauki wasu al'ummarmu ko mutanenmu ya ba su mukamai masu nauyi, masu girma, da fatan lokacin da waɗannan ministoci za su gama, idan sun yi waiwaye za su ga ci gaba da nasara da suka kawo bayan sun gama aikinsu. Muna gode wa duk wanda ya zo wannan waje, muna yi muku fatan alhairi, muna fata yadda muka zo wannan waje lafiya, Allah ya mayar da mu gidajenmu lafiya, Allah ya kare mutuncinmu da addininmu, Allah ya ba mu lafiya da zaman lafiya, Allah ya ba mu damina mai albarka. Assalamu alaikum.
That was the Emir of Bichi, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, speaking on behalf of other royal fathers on the free and compulsory basic and secondary education being flagged off now, and also stakeholder summit going on to usher in the commencement of the program next academic session. He thanked all stakeholders, especially the special guests, other development partners, for their commitment to support Kano State government, and which he appealed for them to do that, because Kano is a host to many communities across northern states and neighboring countries, that if adequately implemented, this will benefit communities from not only Kano State but all parts of the country. He also assured the commitment of traditional institutions to ensure that being a compulsory education, the policy will be supported and ensure that anyone who refuses to send his or her child to school will face the wrath of the law. He also thanked the Vice President for being a good friend of Kano State, for coming to Kano State and being part of this historic event.
The government, especially now that education is free from primary to secondary school level, to send their wards to school so that they can eventually play more active roles in building the nation, unlike Ara or Serki Lapia. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I will invite the representative of the Parents Teachers Association to please step forward for the presentation of awards to His Excellency, the Vice President, and His Excellency, the Governor of Kano State, for spearheading the introduction of free and compulsory basic education in Kano State. Alhaji Sani Salisu Dan Hassan is the chairman of the PTA in Kano.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil mursalin. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa ba'd. Your Excellency, the Vice President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, the Governor of Kano State, Hadimul Islam and Hadimul Education, Your Excellency, Vice President of Kano State, Deputy Governor of Kano State, allow me on the protocol. We parents appreciate the current government intention towards introducing pre-basic and secondary education in our state. So I understand this is the first time in the history of Kano State. Therefore, we parents collectively are the most beneficiary of this. The PTA of Kano State Council urge all both central and that is local government, and school PTAs to cooperate with the state government for the successful achievement of this program by continuing contributing towards the implementation and uplifting the quality of education in our dear state. The PTA Kano State Chapter will continue and cooperate and provide quality basic secondary. We would like say, sir, to understand that presently we appreciate the cordial relationship and the mutual understanding of both President, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Education, and the Executive Secretary, KSSMB, for the early preparation of this gigantic program we are witnessing today, that is free and compulsory basic education, secondary education in the state. Thank you very much. We pray to Allah to support this good intention of government to yield positive results. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This, the State PTA is bringing award for His Excellency, the Vice President and the Executive of Kano State, His Excellency, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, which my President of National Parent Teachers Association of Nigeria, Alhaji Anjuma alias Mutuadole, will present to them.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, my brother, the Honorable Minister of Education, also a brother of mine, the Honorable Minister of Dr. Mohammed Mahmoud. While waiting for the award, the National Council for National Parent Teacher Association of Nigeria had also sent a goodwill message. First and foremost, we want to appreciate what the government of Kano State and of course the federal government of Nigeria is doing to ourselves. Because by supporting education in Nigeria, it's not only supporting our children, it's supporting ourselves. That is saying that goes that yes, where I enter. Though that I love education, I love of the whole Nigerians, and we are the parents, we are Nigerians. And we want to assure the federal government and state government as well that we will do all our best to support the government by trying to see that their goal is achieved. Thank you very much.
Okay. The PTA will now present the special awards to His Excellency, the Vice President, and His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje.
Okay, just open it. That's right. Just open it. You move this one. It's okay. As I'm presenting this one, then this one will give it to the next. Oh, it's okay. Yes.
Mr. Vice President, sir, I, Haruna Danjuma, the President of the National Council of National Parent Teacher Association of Nigeria, have been mandated to deliver to you, sir, the award of excellence for the support you've been given to education in Nigeria. I want to thank you for what you have been doing for us educationally. Appreciate it. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, I'm again being mandated to personally come before you and present to you the award of excellence for being a friend of education in Nigeria. Your Excellency, sir. Got chairman in that.
Thank you very much. The national president of the PTA and the state president or chairman of the PTA, may I quickly remind our audience that there will be plenary sessions and panel discussions that will focus on certain key areas relating to education. These areas are teacher-pupil ratio, classroom management, instructional materials, community participation, and Sangaya education. Panelists and academicians have been invited to discuss these very critical issues which are in line with the objectives of this very important summit. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, since the assumption of office about 4 years ago, the government of Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje has been apportioning huge sums of money for the renovation, upgrade, and provision of new infrastructure for development of education in our dear state. This means that more teachers and non-academic staff have also been recruited to manage the infrastructure for better learning outcomes. These interventions have been captured and compiled into a book which will be presented this afternoon by His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Oshibanjo San, GCON. However, before the public presentation of the book, it is my singular honor and privilege to invite Professor S.O. Olubadeo to please come forward for the review of this important publication. Professor, sir. The professor is on his way to the podium and shortly Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your kind attention. May I hand over the microphone to Professor Olubadeo to review the publication, sir.
Thank you very much. Let it be there. When I get to where Victoria, then you open it. Your Excellency, the Vice President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, our able Governor, the Executive Governor of Kano State, Your Excellency, sir, today marks another beginning of a history in the life of an achiever, our able leader, peace setter, indefatigable leader, a man of substance, a philosopher, educationist, who through the years of experience ushered his people to success. A book is written in honor and recognition of your laudable educational achievements through the years of your administration is hereby presented today to the world as a whole, not only to Kano State or Nigeria as a country. The book, The Provision and Management of Infrastructures for the Development of Education in Kano State, x-railed the education achievement of our futuristic leaders' ability. This book speaks loudly in theory and practice of the importance of infrastructural facilities as the springboard for educational development. Theoretically, the authors speak of your achievements in provision and management of education for upliftment of the thousands of born and unborn children of Kano State. The book contains 17 chapters and 346 pages, and each chapter speaks variously about provision and management of education for the development of the state. For instance, the provision and management of infrastructure for Sangaya, that's Al-Majiri system of education. Provision and management of infrastructure for education development of the girl child. The basic education through the primary and secondary education, technical and science education, and the provision of health facilities for the development of every human being in Kano State. The second aspect of the book speaks in pictures. Pictorially, the book contains 95 illustrative infrastructural facilities for the development of human intellectuality, focusing on future development of Kano State. This book, as you see it, is recommended and is a must for every individual to have. This book is the first of its kind in Kano State, if not the first in Nigeria, to x-ray and serialize the laudable educational achievements of an icon and executive head of a state. It is a must-read book for each family, schools, and to be housed by all libraries of various tiers of government. Therefore, we acknowledge the efforts of the various authors of the articles in the book. We say kudos to you for your marvelous intellectual inputs. Thank you and God bless you. Wait. You get it. Excuse me. Now, my people, we are here. Your Excellency, sir. My Excellency, we are presenting a copy of the laudable achievement of our governor to you. This day is the first of its kind. I'm still reiterating it. The first of its kind in the history of education in Kano. If not the first in Nigeria, but I know that of Kano. He has been taking a lead for these years, and we are now honoring him through you, sir, today. God bless you, sir. Yes. Thank you. Give me another. Give to the Baba now. Pass. Carry. Come on, go. Yes, sir. As I said, the book is written in two folds. The first fold is the theoretical aspect of his achievement, written in 17 chapters, narrating all the kind of provisions in terms of education provision and then management in Kano State. The second aspect, which is pictorial, there is no way when you teach a child, when he sees, he touches, he plays, he remembers more than just theoretical gift. And then the other side is where the pictures speak for themselves. So due to a short time, I will not be able to say much about this, but when you get hold of the book, please, sir, ruminate over it, go through it, and you see what God has blessed us with.
Thank you very much, sir. The book will now be publicly presented by His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Oshibanjo, San, GCON. Thank you very much, Professor Oluba Dewo. Thank you, esteemed ladies and gentlemen, for your patience and understanding throughout this program. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Sangaya education or Almajiri system, as represented by these children, is one of the issues in our education system that is receiving great attention or is being subjected to critique in educational policy discussions, academic discourses, conferences, and even political cycles. This afternoon, Dr. Bashir Shehu Galadanchi from Bayero University, Kano, will open the first session of the plenary for today with a paper titled Sangaya Almajiri Education System Challenges and Prospects. Let us put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Dr. Bashir Shehu Galadanchi.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, the Governor of Kano State, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Your Excellency, or rather I should say our distinguished senators, all of them very committed to education. Honorable ministers here present, their excellencies, the various ambassadors and high commissioners from various countries, and I would stand on other existing protocols. I would like to start by congratulating and commending His Excellency, our Governor, on this wonderful initiative on free and compulsory education, which has led to this very important education summit. I'm extremely grateful that I have been given the honor and privilege of making this first presentation. I should also use this opportunity to thank His Excellency the Governor for always inviting me to events relating to my two areas of interest: information technology, which is my professional area, and the Sangaya education system, for which I have a lot of passion. The last time that I was invited to an event, the Lagos Kano Investment Summit, something very interesting happened. Just as I was entering Epe, my driver stopped to ask for the directions to the venue. And just as he was asking, I saw a convoy of several vehicles. And without asking where they were going, I just told my driver, follow them. And I had the scariest roller coaster ride of my life as we chased the convoy. After 15 minutes, we realized that they were very far on the Lagos-Ibadan expressway. I learned the very hard way that before you follow somebody or before you follow a group, you should ask for where they are going. If you have never been on a convoy of His Excellency the Governor, I think you should try following it, and you'll enjoy the roller coaster ride, which I also enjoyed. Your Excellency, what is very instructive in this education summit and in the entire policy of free and compulsory basic and secondary education is the importance that is being attached to this Angaya system of education. You can see the Al-Majraya here. You have heard the Honorable Minister of Education mentioning the crucial importance and the mere fact that this first presentation is on the Sangaya education system shows the importance.
There is also another presentation that will look into community involvement as contained in the school-based management committees that are already in operating schools earlier to